Cappies, what is good? Hope y'all are doing well. Welcome to Vivid Vibration Tarot. My name is Christina, and I'm going to be doing your general read for the upcoming moon in Sagittarius. Hope y'all are doing well. Seems like, was it last time there was some big drastic changes? I had a dream about one of my Cappies last night. It wasn't like there wasn't a lot going on. It was just kind of like it was an old roommate of mine, and we were living together again. We were just like having dinner, hanging out with the kids. Okay, let's see what's going on with my caps. Okay. There's a lot that just popped out. We have the desert, the warrior, the vow, the mentor, the creator, the nectar, judge, the flame, the heart, and the king. Oof. Goosebumps. Makes me nervous. Okay. I mean, so the song that I have in my head right now is that Halsey Clementine song. And it's that idea of like, I don't need anyone. And I feel like Cappies, this is like your was it your last read? What was going on? It was like this major ending. Like this ending that you like never thought would happen, and yet, you know, like somehow it did. Something happened, and you experienced this ending with this person, and you know, like as a result, you were able to go to this other person, you know, and express to them that you sincerely wanted to be with this person. You were all in, but you know, I kind of get the feelings, Cap, that there's this underlying like energy with you all, that's kind of like that, like, but I don't really need anyone, you know, like I feel like you got burned in a way that it left a mark. You know, so you have the warrior here. Again, it's this card of warning of, you know, like mind your battles. Who are you fighting and why? Because I kind of feel like there's a part of you that's like just kind of wants to be in it, like the antagonist, you're pushing someone. But it's not it's not an assertive. I feel like it's this passive aggressive pushing, almost like this sense of self-sabotage. But I don't think it's because you don't care about this person. I think it's because your insecurities are flaring up. I feel like this huge flare of insecurities for my Cappies. Okay, so I want to say for this we have like the heart and the vow. And you know, with your last read, it was that idea of like this person who wanted to be with you, but they always kind of knew, you know, like I'll never be that person to you. So, you know, like I don't really want to do this. And you going to them and being like, no, I want to do this for you. Like I'm ride or die for you. I love you. You know, like that person, you know, like they ended that. Like that's over and that's on them. And now, you know, like I want to be with you because what matters to me is somebody who wants to be with me. You know, and it's kind of that idea of you're talking you're trying to talk this person into believing that they're the ones that you want to be with, that they're the ones that you're committed to. And I feel like there's this idea of them not really believing you. And I kind of want to say it's with good reason, Caps. You know, I feel like, I mean, there's this idea of those people in our lives who it's like you like that's your person. Like you walk into that person's home and there's evidence of that person there. You know, you go on their social media, there's evidence of that person there. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like the idea of like this person looks at you, the person that you're sharing, who you're like, no, you're the one I want to be with. And they're looking at you and they're looking around and they're like, well, why do I still see this person here? And why do I still see this person there? You know, like obviously you're like, you haven't let this person go. Like you're still connected to this person. You know, like when you have a conversation, this person's name comes up. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like you're telling yourself that you've let it go, but you haven't let it go. You know, you have not let this person go. And I think that like there's like this judgment that's being passed on you for it. Maybe the mentor, the creator, the king, and the flame. Because, you know, I feel like Cappies, you guys are coming in as the king. You know, you guys are coming in as the decider. Because here's the thing, I mean, y'all are, you can't tell a Cap nothing. You know, like, love y'all, but you can't, you know, I mean, it's like, you guys are so traditional and so stuck in your ways. I mean, for like all of the love in the world that I have for my Cappies, you know, like, I feel like in real life, you know, outside of having like sincere, genuine love, respect, and friendship with my Cappies, like there's so much tradition that comes along with y'all that it's like, it's too much, it's suffocating for my own personal spirit, you know? um, but it's that idea of like, once you've made a decision, you've made a decision. And I feel like you guys have made a decision that you're going to create something out of nothing. You know, you're going to create a connection where there isn't one. You know, it's almost like this mentality of like, I'll make it happen. You know, like I can make anything happen, and I can will anything into existence, and I did it before and I'll do it again. And I don't know, there's something about this that feels really misguided to me. You know, but it seems like it's misguided in this idea that you can create connection where connection does not exist. You know, that you have experienced the loss of a connection that you never thought you would experience, that has like completely thrown you for a loop. And I think it all just feels, you know, very surreal. I was reading the excerpt for this in the Gemini read the other day, and I was like, fuck, I love that. You know, but it's like this feeling, like it all feels surreal. I feel like you're still, like I almost want to say, like there's this idea of you, and I feel like I'm picking up on a very specific energy, but I was around a Cap the other day, so, you know, but it's that idea of, you know, like you wanted to create an image. You wanted to create a picture of you having, you know, like I'm in this relationship now and I'm fine and everything's great, and you know what I mean? Like it's that idea of like fake it till you make it, or take it a step beyond that. It's this idea of I'm going to play this game because I'm still going to win that person. Like that person who turned their back on me, they're still mine. I'm still going to have them. And I'm not letting that go. and I'm carrying this facade of this relationship, and I'm telling this person that they're the one that I love, and that I really am committed to them and I want to be with them, and they're not totally buying it, and they're not buying it because there's something about it that just doesn't feel right. And it's because it's not right. It's because you, even though you don't want to admit it, have decided that you're going to create something out of nothing, because you're gonna I almost feel like you're gonna like there's this idea of like, I'm gonna pull the wool over some people's eyes, and I'm gonna create this image, I'm gonna paint this picture, and then while I'm doing this, I'm going to I almost want to say that you're trying to, like, whatever reason this person cut you off, for whatever reason, I feel like there's this element of like competition involved. Like you were in competition with it, because what was it? It was like you were holding them back the same way they were holding you back. I mean, this connection that you guys had was like preventing you both from moving forward, right? And so it's that idea that, you're gonna, look like you're moving forward so that you're no longer a threat to the person, to that other person's person. Like you had to cut me out because that person was threatened by me. Well, okay, let me create this situation so they're not threatened by me anymore, and it'll look like I've moved on, and everybody can see how I'm really in love with this person and I'm really riding for this person, but in all actuality, I'm trying to get that person back. Ooh, ooh, Cappy's scheming. Scheming. But there you go. It's this, watch your battles, because I don't think everybody's buying it. I don't think everybody's sold. I think that you think that you're pulling the wool over people's eyes, but I feel like these people know you better than you know yourself in a lot of ways. You know what I mean? Like, even if you don't even recognize that this is what you're doing, but I think you recognize what you're doing. I think you're just hoping that nobody else recognizes what you're doing. But yeah, because it's, again, it's like that end, like this end that occurred, and like this need to kind of like face your fears. I mean, I think that this ending that occurred like shook you to the core. Like this was an end where you were just like it rocked your world. It rocked your sense of self. It rocked your self-esteem. I mean, like this end crumbled you in a real way. And you're like, at this point, I feel like the reason that you think that you're fooling people and other people aren't really being fooled by it is because you're like, you are like facing your fears. You have been triggered. I mean, there is an element of like, and when people get triggered, whether they realize it or not, like they operate on this, like this they have like a reactionary response. And so you can always tell when somebody's been triggered because they're reacting aggressively. And Cappy's, I feel like there's just been like this trigger and this reaction, like this aggressive reaction, I think to you, you're like, well, I've made this decision that I'm really in love with this person, and I'm not connected to that person. I'm really connected to this person over here. Like, can't you see how I've created this, like this commitment with this other person? Don't you see how decided I am on this? And like, I'm going to be protective of it, and I'm going to fight anybody who says different. I mean, like, but why would you need to fight anybody about that? Like, if you have a connection with someone and anybody questions it, if it's a real connection, like, you'd laugh in their face, right? You'd be like, yo, what are you talking about? like this person is my everything, you know, like you could ask anybody and everybody. You look at any area of my life, who do you see? You see that person. You know what I mean? Like duh, that's my person, you know, get the fuck out of here with that shit. You'd laugh, and rather than laughing, you're fighting. And it's telling. And so I think that, you know, like the people who you think you're fooling know you really well, and they can see when you react in a triggered state, and they see you reacting in this triggered state, and that's why this connection is just like nobody's buying it. Okay, so what else we can hear from my cats? Queen of Swords, Ace of Cups, Three of Wands, and the Hierophant. And Cappies, I feel like this is, you know, like I almost feel like it's this person that you have this connection with. You know, like the person that you're connected with sees you having this reaction and goes to you and, you know, says to you, like, listen, I know what you're doing. I know why you're doing it, you know, and I get that you're trying to, you know, like start this new relationship and, you know, like create this connection with this person, and I feel like they're kind of like, I feel like they're trying to like calm you a little bit, you know, like don't fuck it up because you're reacting right now. Like don't fuck it up because you're feeling, you know, like you're feeling triggered, you're feeling upset, you're trying to prove yourself, you know, like I don't, that Halsey song, I don't need anyone, I just need everyone and then some. And it's that idea of like, fine, like I don't need you, you, like, yeah, you are the one that I really, you know, yeah, you're the one that I'm really connected to, but I don't need that. And this person is kind of like, hey, like take a deep breath here with me, you know, like it's going to be okay. Like I get that you're trying to create this scenario, but you know, maybe don't drag everyone through all of your triggers, you know, like maybe just like calm down and deal with your triggers. And I feel like you are just like, I can't, like, how am I supposed to do that without you? Like you are the one who helped me through all this. Like fuck, you're the one helping me through it right now. Like, don't you see how connected I am to you? Don't you see how much I love you? I almost feel like there's this this, like you're going, I kind of want to say that you're like having a conversation with this person. I feel like it feels like one of those like late night calls, like one of those late night drunk calls. You know, where you're like, you lose your shit and nothing feels like it's going right, you know, like this person isn't buying your shit, you know, and it's pissing you off, you know, and you're just kind of like why don't they believe me when I say this? I told them I love them, I told them that we had a connection. And it's like, but who are you calling when you're drunk? You know, like who are you turning to when it's all like, when, like who do you come to when you need peace? You know what I mean? Like who is it that you have that with? That is the person that you're connected to. That is where your heart is. You know, and you can put up a front and you can tell everybody that it's somebody else, but like obviously it's not. You're reacting in this triggered state. And I think this person is just kind of like, I want to say like they're just having this conversation with you. They're just like acknowledging this experience that you're going through. Because I don't think you're ready to let this person go, Cap. You know, I think that really, you know, what I want to say with this warrior card is that like you're fighting this battle to prove everybody that you don't really care, but it's like that like, why fight that battle, you know? And I almost feel like you get this moment of like clarity where you're like swept up in the idea that, you know, I'm not going to fight that battle. Y'all are right. I'm going to fight for the person that I want to be with. You know, you have the Knight of Pentacles here. And you know, there's a part of me that thinks that, you know, like, you guys almost like in this moment of like desperation, in this moment of like, I'm gonna fight for what I actually want, you know, like, and getting swept up in this kind of illumination that you don't just like go to this person and say to them. I mean, the Knight of Pentacles is an offering, you know, typically of something, you know, some sort of like financial offer, but I almost feel like you're like, move in with me, live with me, you know, like don't be with this person, come be with me, you know, like this attempt to really, I think, truly fight for what it is that you want, because I think you're connected to this person. Your heart beats for this person. I mean, like, the idea here is like, home is where the heart is. Your home is this person, you know, and it's like, this person is the one that gives you life, and they're the one that you're connected to, that you're committed to, and it's like they cut you out because you were preventing them from moving forward in their relationships, and just the same as they were preventing you, and you're like, but wait a second, why are we cutting each other out? Why are we, you know, letting other relationships even get in our way? Like, I want to do this with you. I feel like there's this huge like fuck faking this other relationship. I want to do this with you. Like, why are we fighting each other? Why are we fighting this connection? You know, like, I love you and I'm connected to you and I want to be with you. I don't know if some of my Cappies are like, fuck it, let's get married. Fuck it, let's move in together. Like, fuck it, let's tell all of them to screw off. Let's cut them out and it's us. You know, I mean, I feel like there's just like this real, you know, like, this person's trying to talk you down off the ledge, and you're like, no, I'm not coming down off this ledge. You know, we're jumping together, like me and you know. I mean, I kind of love it. I'm not gonna lie. Let's see what else we can get here for my cats. Anima Mundi. I mean, this is the card of completion. You know, this, like, everything's connected. And I really do feel like, Cappies, you guys are like, you're like, I want to bring this all this shit is like, I'm over it. You know, like, all these games we've played, all these, you know, like, push and pull, and I'm gonna, you know, like, I'm always gonna be in your life, and you're always gonna be in my life, and, you know, like, we're always gonna be there for each other, like, kumbaya shit, you know, like, yes, you're my best friend, yes, you're the one that I love, yes, you're the one that I want to spend my life with, enough is enough already, you know, like, I feel like you want to take all of the pieces of, you know, like it's almost like this full-on illumination of your triggers and why you feel triggered, and, you know, like, what it is that, you know, that's triggering you, and what's triggering you is the idea of losing this person. And I think that you never really were, you were always comfortable with having them be that person that you know, like, that was there, because it was like, as long as they were always there, as long as you were always my best friend, as long as you were always that person that I could talk to, you know, as long as you were always that person I could turn to, then I was okay with you living your life and me living my life, because I knew that you were always going to be there. But the second that you have to face the reality of this person saying to you, we're connected in a way that is preventing me from moving forward in my life, like I want to say, you know, like, my new partner is so threatened by our connection, you know, because they're like you can't be best friends with them and be best friends with me. Like you can't be connected for life to that person and be connected for life to me. You know, I mean, I feel like there was this idea of like if you really need to move on with your life and I really need to move on with my life. And you were like, you know, I think your first reaction was, okay, fine, I'm going to go tell this person who I've kind of been dating or I've kind of been seeing that they're the one that I really want, that they're the ones who I'm really in love with. And, you know, but like nobody was buying it. You know, everybody was like, no, that feels wrong. It feels like almost like a rebound response, you know? Even if this person had been in your life, the way that you approached it with this intensity of commitment and, you know, like, no, I'm ride or die for you now, baby. And they're like, okay, one, Cappies, y'all do not just flip your shit like that. Like, you guys are 100. I mean, that is it. Like, ride or die for life. You know what I mean? Like, y'all are so constant. So for you to just to have somebody cut you out and for you to just be like, oh, it's fine because really I've been loving you this whole time. Like, what? Nobody's buying it. And I think that there's kind of this element of like, in your triggered response, you know, people kind of coming to you and saying, and I want to say this person saying to you, you know, like you like recognize how you're acting, you know, like come on, baby, you know, like don't you see what you're doing, and you just like breaking down and really, you know, like I know you're right. I've been triggered and I got to face my fear, and my fear is losing this, you know, like your fear is losing this person. You know, your fear is that like all of the like, because to you this person is completely everything. They are your all and your everything, and you're gonna fight. I feel like this is your like, no, I'm not letting you go. You are my, you know, you are my connection. I'm connected to you and no one else will ever be you. Cappies, I love it. I hope this works out in your favor. Seems intense. Thanks for hanging out with me and love y'all so much, and I'll see you again soon.